Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Saturday and it's probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I'm on the north end of the moat now, just probably, maybe 500 meters east of Chiang Phuak Gate. And I thought we'd walk around here a little bit and see what's going on. You know, they are doing some reconstruction down here at the gate. And I also read that Chiang Phuak Market's been sold, and there was a lot of concern because a lot of people have been selling in there for years, and you know, where are they going to go? And I don't know about the food stalls that are outside of the market. You know, at night, I don't know what's going to happen to them, whether they're going to be able to stay there or what, because nobody really knows what's going to happen to the area yet. Nothing's been said. It's just been said that it's been sold. But I want to thank everybody that's coming to the channel and subscribed to the channel, left comments, bought super thanks, bought coffee. I really appreciate that, and we'll keep giving you some decent videos. But I'm going to turn the camera around and let y'all see where we're at. There we go. Water is really high for some reason. I don't know why. We haven't really had any rain, but it's definitely high. And you can tell from the color of it, you know, it's washed off from the mountains. But we're going to walk down here to the gate and maybe come back around this way, because I saw a temple over here I may want to walk in and check out. I don't know, we'll just see where we end up. But the story I'm going to tell you about today, and I want to thank Kevin L. for telling me about it. It's one that I hadn't found, and when I got to reading it, I had to read it several times to get all the, you know, try to pull all the details together that I could find out. But it's just, you know, I don't care how much you've seen over your lifetime, you're always going to find things that are going to top it, and this one kind of tops it all off. And it starts out in about 2015. This Filipino girl by the name of Benny Lynn. She graduates from high school and graduates from some prep schools, and she's got an older sister and lives with her mother, father, and, you know, just really just a good, they say she's just a great person. And they all kind of got together and made sure that she got through school and did real well. Well, like most Filipino girls, and even girls in Thailand too, for that matter, you know, when they kind of get of age, they start looking, you know, to either get out of the country or you know, meet somebody that's going to help them. Well, she got on one of the dating sites, and she meets a guy he's an English guy. He's a landlord, and he's 40 years older than she is. And I guess they carry her on a relationship for a while, and whether it doesn't, you know, the article really doesn't say. But it does say that in 2018 they ended up getting married in the Philippines, and they lived there in the Philippines for a while, and she had a baby. They had a kid together. 2019, they moved to the UK. Yeah, see, they've dug all this up, and looks like they're starting to fill places in now. We'll walk across the walkway and get on the other side. So I believe we'll walk down that way. But they moved to the UK. And I don't know, there's some really strange things to this story. It mentions another child. but it doesn't say whether the child was hers or not. It doesn't say. The kid was a little bit older than the child that she had. But anyway, her and her husband, they just, you know, they tried and it just didn't work out, so they ended up getting a divorce. And she was able to find we'll go this way. She was able to find housing for her and her daughter and maybe another child. I don't know. When I get deeper into this story, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Whoever this second child was, they have gone at great lengths to keep the identity secret or where the kid came from or who she actually was or whatever. But anyway, they get divorced and she's doing all right. You know, she's kind of sitting with elderly people for money, and she's got a kind of a side job on the internet selling car vacuum cleaners, and she's doing real well. She's made some friends, and you know, the one thing about it, I'll tell you about Asian people, when they get outside their country, they will meet their own kind. And you know, it's just like they got magnets to each other. Oops. And sure enough, she met a support group and they kind of helped her out a little bit. We are going to have to stop here in a minute and tie my shoe. Well, I'm going to shut this off for just a second. Okay, we're back. We are right here on the corner. I guess we'll walk down here through the food stands. Well, anyway, she's making friends and she's doing okay. She's not setting any records for making a lot of money, but she's able to send a little bit of send a little money home to her family, and she's keeping in touch with her sister almost daily. And through the different chat programs, she's able to talk to her sister almost daily. And she goes up on Filipino Cupid, and she puts a profile up and talks about, you know, what her aspirations are. And after a while, she meets this guy. His name is Andrew Innes, Innes, and he's about 50 years old. He's a computer guy, and from what the article says, that he worked in the computer gaming industry. It didn't say exactly what he did, but apparently he did okay for himself. But they start talking back and forth, and he lives about 400 kilometers away from her in Scotland. She is, now I may have my north and south mixed up because my graphics aren't. I'll put a map up here and you can see the location there, where they're living and where they're traveling from. Well, they talk for a while, and he offers her a job making, from what they said, £1,000 a month or something like that, doing something. But she didn't want to accept it, but they still kept talking. And the article also said he was trying to get her to send nude photos of herself to him, and she wouldn't do it. But they still kept a conversation going, and they were still interested in each other. Well, he decides he wants to meet her, so he's going to drive to where she is, and he makes the trip. And when you're talking about stories like this, you have to kind of piece articles together, because there's like 4 or 5 different articles, and each one of them has got a little piece of the story. Korean fried chicken, huh? And that's kind of what I've done. I've read a bunch of different stories and tried to read up a bunch on him as well. But it's all kind of piecemeal. But it seems like he gets there and he spends the night in his car. And the next morning he goes and meets her. And he's able to convince her to come back to his town with him. Now, it's evident that she's got a daughter that's about 2 years old. Her name is Jellica. And she is her father is from the first husband. And, you know, there's no, best I can tell, there's no animosity between her and the ex-husband. You know, they agree to joint custody, and, you know, everything seems to be hunky-dory between them. And this guy's trying to get him out of here. We'll just keep walking around them. I was going to try to get on the other side of the street, which I believe I will. Nah, I'll stay on this side. What the heck? But anyway, we'll walk down here, see what's down here. He convinces her. They pile in his car and they drive to where he's living, which appeared to be some type of a house. Now on the way, she FaceTimes her sister. There you go. Nice place up there? Really? Good. 248 Street Hostel, Chiang Mai, huh? There you go. I don't know if I've ever walked down here. But she tells her sister that she's met this guy, and you know, they're talking in the car, and she actually points the phone at him. So, you know, the sister sees who he is, and you know, explains that she's going to his house, and, you know, sister thinks, well, that's, you know, that's good. Finally, she's met somebody that is, you know, gonna take care of her. Nothing was more said about it. You know, they talked back and forth, and she even talked to the guy, this Sandra. A lot of little places out here. Oh, there you go. That's the way to travel. But they talk back and forth, and for a couple days there, she's talking to her sister. She actually shows her sister. She FaceTimes her sister and shows her sister where she's living, and Monkey Toe 2 guest house. Huh. There's a lot of little guest house back here, I guess. But she shows her sister where she's living, and you know, it's basically, from all I can tell, she kind of hung out there for a while. And this is around February 20th, 2021. Well, the sister doesn't hear from her for a few days. And she's starting to get concerned because they talked every day. And she's sending her messages and she's not responding, and just not hearing anything from her. And 2 or 3, 4 days go by. Finally, she gets a message from the guy, Andrew, who she knows what he looks like because she saw him in the car. And he says that she and her daughter have gone to another city to meet up with another man that she had met online, and that she was okay. And she was trying to get away from her ex-husband, who he says was trying to get custody of the little girl. And he said that he had advised her to lay low and, you know, not contact anybody, and assured the sister that she was okay. Here's an old bike here. Golly. That's pretty neat. But anyway, she's just, you know, she just smelled something bad, because they always talk. They talked every single day. And it was unheard of for her not to talk to the sister. So she contacts him again and says, you know, I want to talk to my sister. I want to talk to my sister. Is she okay? Is she alive? Well, he sends her a video of her, and she can tell from the video that it's an old video. Well, it looks like we run into a dead end, and we're going to have to walk back out unless this goes somewhere. Let me look. She can tell it's an old video. Well, by this time, her and her parents are, you know, they're all shook up, because it's very, very uncommon for her to do something like that. And they didn't know of any problems between the ex-husband and her, Monty Lynn. So, you know, they're just beside themselves. Well, fast forward to around March. She and the daughter were supposed to, they had an important appointment. And nobody had seen them. Nobody had seen them around their house or coming and go or anything like that. And she missed the appointment, which sent off a bunch of red flags. And the people that she had the appointment with contact the ex-husband. Well, he doesn't know anything, so he gets in touch with the police and gets them involved, and it says, you know, it's unheard of for her, you know, not show up for work, not to take care of her you know, her appointments and her business and all that. It's just unheard of. So they launched an investigation, and they did a darn good job. Now, they must have some killer closed circuit TV over there, because they look on closed circuit TV and they track his vehicle at the location of her house. And from there, they track him back to the city where he lives. And by this time, you know, even the cops are getting a little bit suspicious. Well, the police go up to his house, and this is around the 5th of March, and knock on the door. He comes to the door, and they see a little girl in the back, but it's not the 2-year-old, it's not Jellica. It's another girl. It's a little bit older. And the cops ask him, you know, if he'd seen Monty Lynn and her daughter, and, you know, he basically says, no, hadn't seen them, don't know where they are, they've gone somewhere or whatever. And they wanted to come in. Well, he wouldn't let them in. He kept saying, well, you know, the kid's not dressed, and, You know, he just wouldn't let him in the house. Well, the cops are smart enough. They went in anyway. And they said the kitchen was a mess. You know, things were torn up and just completely out of place. And they immediately got suspicious. Well, the investigator takes the little girl aside, and because he's saying that that girl is his daughter, and they get her away from him, and she tells the policeman that you know, that's not her father. You know, she doesn't know who he is. Well, they immediately, you know, jump down on him big time and increase their awareness and their questioning. And he finally admits that he's killed her. And he's buried her under the kitchen floor. And basically what he states to them is that he had been married to a Japanese woman in Japan. And for some reason or other, and the story doesn't say, he had got divorced from her and got deported from Japan. And this was just prior to, like, you know, the lockdown 2019. It hadn't been that long. Okay, I think we'll go out here and we'll go to the right. And then we'll come back the other side. There's a really pretty temple down here on the right. If we can get that far, that'll be cool. If not, we'll just keep walking this way. But, or I will try to get on the other side of the street. We'll keep going this way. But they keep questioning him, and they question the little girl. And the little girl, because they know they're looking for two people, maybe even three. You know, this is where it gets real freaky. It doesn't say who this third girl is, where she came from, who she is, what the situation was, whether it was a daughter of you know, Bonnie Lynn or whatever. But anyway, the girl tells him that she saw him kill Jellica. She said they were playing a game of hide and seek, and he shut the door on her, but she was able to see him on top of her, strangling her. When they confronted him with it, he fessed up, and basically he said what happened was she kept screaming and kept crying, and he couldn't control her, and he killed her and put her right next to her mother. Well, they immediately arrest him. Yeah, we'll walk down here and then walk through the temple back through the back of it. This place is always mobbed. But just unbelievable. You know, the guy was crazy. What he said was he had been done bad by a woman, which they assume was his ex-wife, and she reminded him of his ex-wife, and he went ballistic and killed her. And he killed her with a sledgehammer, hit her in the head with a sledgehammer, and then he ran a samurai sword through her chest. He kept claiming that it was self-defense, that she attacked him. But later on during the trial, it came out that that wasn't the case. Just wasn't the way it was. Now, apparently he had been molesting the young girl, and also had molested her 2-year-old daughter as well. Yeah, a lot of people in here today.
ที่สุภาพสตรีท่านหนึ่งที่ได้มาแจ้งกับเจ้าหน้าที่ไว้ว่าลูกป่วย แล้วก็สามีก็ป่วยเราต้องการน้ำมนต์กลับไปอาบ
here around to the right. You won't hear much of what I'm saying.
ที่นำกลับไปดื่มได้นะคะขอให้มาติดต่อคุณนกอุศนีที่ประรำพิธีพรมน้ำมนต์ด้วยนะคะจะได้นำน้ำมนต์ของหมอผีเสวลีกลับไปให้ลูกแล้วก็สามีดื่มค่ะติดต่อด่วนนะคะคุณพี่จะเป็นที่ลูกและสามีป่วยค่ะที่มาจากกรุงเทพอะค่ะ
Don't really know what's going on here. Everybody signs their names to that, makes a donation. These are neat. But anyway, back to the story. They arrest him, and it's 2 weeks that they're before they find the bodies in the kitchen. They had to pull up the kitchen tile, and apparently he had poured cement over the bodies and tiled underneath, over the top of them. And then the mother was found in a bag, and then the baby was found in a bag right next to her. And just really sad. And like I said, I suspect that they are protecting this other child as much as they can by not releasing anything, even remotely, about her. So we may never know, who she was or what she was, or, I wouldn't want to know her name or anything, but I would like to know the circumstances of how he got her. I suspect that it might have been her first child that she brought from the Philippines, but I don't know. I've not been able to find any pictures of the kid, nothing, not on the sister's Facebook page or anything else. Well, he goes to trial, and in Scotland, they about the only thing that they could do was try for a defense of diminished capacity, which is what he tried to do. That he was trying to say that he was insane when he committed the crimes. Well, the psychologists, and there were several that interviewed him and looked at him, and they all basically said that there's nothing wrong with him. Absolutely nothing. Let's see what's over here. Oh, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Oh, okay, they're selling omelets right there. Okay. Like I said, this is a really, really beautiful, beautiful temple. It's usually packed out all the time. We'll go over here and look at this tree. And this over here says what it is. What they're having today.
นะคะใครยังอยากได้น้ำมนต์นะคะเดินเข้ามาในพิธีภายใน3 นาทีเราจะขออนุญาตเคลียร์พื้นที่
What I can see from the outside here.
ใครยังต้องการน้ำมนต์ถือภาชนะถือขวดน้ำเข้ามาในพิธีนี้3 นาทีสุดท้ายนะคะ
I'm not going to go in, but I may be able to get you a good shot from out here. And I'm not done with the story. We'll finish the story here in just a second. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Really beautiful in here. All right, let's get back outside. We'll go through this gate right over here, through the elephants. But during the trial, he gets up on the witness stand, and the things that he described, I'm not even gonna, I'm not going to get into them. I'm going to put links to all the articles in the description. You're welcome. Dead battery. We'll start again here. But yeah, he got up on the witness stand, and it really, hello, really made the jurors, there are 15 jurors, and what he described was so bad that the judge, the people that sat on the jury, he recused them from ever having to serve on another jury again for the rest of their lives, all 15 of them. So it was pretty bad, really pretty in here. You know, I get to see this all the time. I love it. Never get tired of it, never get tired of it. The jury came back and found him guilty, and this is what really makes me angry. They find him guilty, and the judge sentences him to life in prison. But he is eligible for parole in 36 years. Now here's a man that never, ever needs to step foot on the face of the earth again with near a human being, other than somebody in his own cell, and hopefully when he gets to prison, jailhouse justice will be served. And I've said this before, and I've been criticized from it, but sometimes that's some of the best justice that can be served. It is not a pleasant situation. It's heartbreaking. You know, this family has lost a daughter, and I suspect there's another daughter that's lost a mother, but like I said, I don't know. And I respect the fact that they've done everything they could to shelter this second child from having anything tied to her, you know, from this case, because it's just unbelievable. I've not worked anything close to this. You know, I've worked some cases where some people have been killed and hidden. The family had been done like that, but nothing as horrendous as this. And it's, you know, you think about it, is online dating safe? Well, absolutely, positively for her, it wasn't. He was on 34 different dating sites. And when they got to analyzing everything that he had been into and everything that he had done, he was grooming her. His preference was a young woman in her 20s, preferably with children. And that's what she was. So she fit what he was looking for, and he would score the women based on them fitting his criteria. And there's no telling what would have happened if they didn't catch him. Well, they did say, he did admit that had they not come when they did, the second child would have been dead within hours. So, you know, this guy was just evil. And there's pictures of him here that you can go through, and pictures of her as well, and the child. But you can look at this guy and just, he's evil. He's got evil in his eyes. You know, there's some people when you look at them, you can look in their eyes and you can see into their soul. And I've had this on one occasion. There was a guy that I was interviewing, and I knew, and he knew I knew, that he had killed his wife 30 some years, 20 or 30 some odd years before him sitting in front of me. And he knew that I knew that he had just murdered 2 kids, or was about to. And you could look at him and you could see it in his eyes. And every time I dealt with him after that, I basically saw that same you just make your hair stand up on your head, on the back of your neck. But there are people in this world like that. That's why I say, is online dating worth it? The only thing that you're really knowing about people is what they let you know. So I don't know if it's safe for these women that meet these guys online, and the next thing you know, they're going to their home countries and getting married. And, some of them are ending up dead. There was an article that I read, and it listed, and this is just for the United States, all the women who had been brought into the United States from other countries who have felt demise. And there are actually this group of people, and I commend them for what they're doing, was trying to get some type of legislation set to have a database on these guys or something, or some kind of requirements. There's none right now. It's just like that last one I did with, the guy was already trying to get another woman in the country. And, it's just, it's pitiful. Beautiful place here. Well, I think I will end the video right here. I've kind of rambled and talked and walked and showed you all a bunch of stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate y'all checking out the channel and coming in the channel, and like I said, subscribing and leaving comments, super thanks, coffee. We really appreciate that. And y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.